Friday the 5th of August and welcome to From the South. Demonstrators have clashed with police outside the Maracana Stadium after holding protests against the Olympics and labelling them the Exclusion Games. Thousands have decried the government's priorities to the Olympic Games over healthcare, social sectors and neglecting the city itself. The venue is hours away from holding the opening ceremony that will bring in the 2016 Olympic Games. People began gathering earlier in the day, whilst other protests were taking place at Copacabana Beach against the illegitimate government of Michel Temer. A total of 17 US intelligence agencies are working in coordination with Brazil to protect nearly 10,000 athletes, sending more than 1,000 intelligence agents to Rio in an effort to maintain a secure 2016 Olympic Games. That's according to an NBC News report. The US also has hundreds of analysts, law enforcement and special operations on the ground to assist the 85,000 Brazilian soldiers, police and other security forces deployed across Rio for the event. Security has been a major focus for the event after recent and frequent ISIS-inspired attacks in Western countries. In Mexico, while right-wing businesses call for increased repression of protesting teachers, Secretary of Economy Ildefonso Guajardo Villarreal announced on Thursday that the government would provide financial support to companies affected by the ongoing protests, affiliated with the National Coordinator of Education Workers. Teachers have been protesting against President Enrique Peña Nieto's education reform, which critics say is aimed at justifying mass layoffs and does little to improve education in Mexico. From Asia to the rest of the world, the newest gaming phenomenon, Pokemon Go, is now in Latin American countries, reaching more than 100 million players across the globe after its release in July. The application allows players to catch Pokemon corresponding with real-life locations by using GPS, internet and their mobile camera phones. The game broke a number of records, including more than 10 million downloads in its first week. 12 people were killed after gunmen opened fire on a busy market in Assam State in India early on Friday. Authorities are blaming the outlawed National Democratic Front of Bodoland, which waged a violent decade-long campaign for an independent homeland for the indigenous Bodo people. Northeast India, linked to the rest of the country by a narrow land bridge, has seen decades of unrest among ethnic and separatist groups. The region is home to dozens of tribal groups and small guerrilla armies that resist rule from the New Delhi police. Taliban militants attacked a group of 12 American and European tourists, escorted by an Afghan army convoy in western Herat province on Thursday. At least 7 people were wounded as the insurgents step up nationwide attacks. One news agency reported that the tourists, 8 British, 3 Americans and 1 German national, came to Afghanistan with Hinterland Travel, an England-based adventure travel company which offers tours passing through central and north Afghanistan, as well as through volatile lapis mines in the country. Black Lives Matter supporters and campaigners shut down the road to Heathrow Airport and blocked trams in Nottingham on Friday, as part of a day of action across England. They lay across the slip road off the motorway at Heathrow and cemented their arms into concrete barrels. Police and ambulance crews had to carefully saw and chisel the cement blocks away from the protesters' arms, causing severe traffic problems. The campaign, called #Shutdown, is protesting the deaths of black people in police custody, the targeting of minorities by law enforcement authorities, as well as employment and social inequalities. US President Barack Obama has debunked Donald Trump's latest declaration as ridiculous. Trump believes that the upcoming November 8th elections will be rigged.
And I'm afraid the election's going to be rigged, I have to be honest. Because I think my side was rigged if I didn't win by massive landslides.
If Mr. Trump is suggesting that there is a conspiracy theory that is being propagated across the country, including in places like Texas, where typically it's not Democrats who are in charge of voting booths, that's ridiculous. That doesn't make any sense, and I don't think anybody would take that seriously.
The chairman of the Iran's National Security and Foreign Policy, Dr. Alauddin Brojerdi, left Beirut and led a parliamentary delegation to Damascus. He met with the head of the Syrian People's Assembly, Hadi Abbas, and discussed various topics, including political issues and the latest developments in the region.
Regarding the issue and the political situation in Syria, especially in light of the Geneva conference later this month, everyone became aware of Iran's influential role in Syria and the relationship between the two countries.
During the press conference, Pro-Jurdi expressed his country's pride in the victories achieved by the Syrian Arab Army in Aleppo and stressed the magnitude of the achievement despite over 80 participant nations in the war in Syria.
We believe that the Syrian people stand first, together with the resistance, so we will together with the people who have struggled and will stand by Syria in the face of terrorism. Today we declare our full support for Syria.
A source within the military stressed that army units continued their military operation and shifted from defense to attack the terrorists in Aleppo's countryside. At the same time, number of terrorists from the eastern neighborhood of Aleppo turned themselves in and gave up their weapons to authorities. Hazem Abdullah, teleSur's, Syria.
Protesters today demonstrated their frustration with the current Brazilian government, all through the official opening day of the Rio Olympic Games. With the eyes of the world on Rio, Brazilians who are furious over the country's political crisis, crippling recession, and what they see as an Olympics favouring the rich, have seized the limelight. The protesters say that they are also hoping to draw attention of the international media to the coup d'etat being mounted against Dilma Rousseff. More on these and other stories on our website telesurtv.net/English.